This is WFO Radio.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Joe Costello back with you for another edition of WFO Radio Podcast, our NHRA Nitro show. Got a big one today. Super excited. Doug Kalitta, Air Doug, going to be with us here on the show. We're going to do a little bit of a sponsor spotlight. Tony Merritt from Stanley Black & Decker, a.k.a. Mac Tools, is going to be on the show. And we're going to talk a little bit about a very long-standing sponsor relationship. They have just renewed and extended, and it is going to be great in a time where there's so much challenge for everything. It is good to know that there are some folks in corporate America that are, doubling down on NHRA drag racing. And so we'll be getting to them real quick. If you're a fan of Kalitta Motorsports, if you're a fan of Doug, always share the show. Tell your friends that they're going to have a chance to see Doug, and we're going to dive in just seconds from now, all you folks out there on the social media as well. Now, the people who make it possible for me to do this show and talk to these drag racers, people like Total Seal Piston Rings, TotalSeal.com. They're the leader in ring seal technology, whether you're using a small block Chevrolet for a bracket car, or you're doing something super advanced for a sports car or Formula One engines. They are cutting edge all around. Go to TotalSeal.com, and there is a brand new Total Seal podcast produced by us here at Costello Media. And you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. It is pretty cool. We got John Callies, head of Pontiac Motorsports in the 1980s. Going to talk a little bit about those programs and Callies Crankshaft, etc. TotalSeal.com. Also, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Start your education at full speed. Judd and Linda and Brian Massengill down there in Houston, Texas, they are genuinely enabling and educating the next generation of engine builders, crew members, machinists, the ones that are going to keep this sport going. So if you're a young person and you haven't yet decided on what you want to do and you want your future to be, go to samtech.edu. Tell them you heard about it on WFO Radio, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next race-winning crew chief in the National Hot Rod Association. Speaking of drag racing, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School. For my listeners who are interested in driving a dragster, just getting their feet wet a little bit with zero commitment. Drive a dragster, show up with nothing, right? Frank Hawley has a program called the Dragster Adventure. They tour around the country. Courses start at $399. It'd be a fun thing for you and your friends to do. You could definitely get bragging rights over them, or you could learn how to drive an alcohol funny car. Go to frankhawley.com to find out more information on the Dragster Adventure. And finally, Rodak's Coffee and Grills.com. Marvin Rodak is a drag racer. He is a coffee roaster. He is a barbecue grill meister who happens to love NHRA drag racing and has been sponsoring our show for over 10 years. 817-924-6821. Whether you want to grill, or you want a pound of coffee, or you want some amazing barbecue recipes, Marvin Rodak can hook you up, and he's a big supporter of WFO. A little bit later on in the show, we'll tell you how to get a WFO radio face covering to stay safe out there so that we can go back racing. But right now, it is time to dive into it with my two guests, Mr. Doug Kalitta and Mr. Tony Merritt from Mac Tools. Gentlemen, welcome to WFO Radio. How are you doing?
Doing well, yeah. Thanks for having us on, Joe. It's always a pleasure.
And Tony?
Absolutely. Glad to be here, hanging out with Doug Kalitta and Joe and all the NHRA fans out there.
Yes, and we have a lot of them. They're weighing in on social, watching on YouTube and Facebook, and I apologize in advance for what they may say. But Tony, first of all, you win the best background of the year so far. Like, I don't know what you did, you put into it, if that's a green screen technology like so many are using, but that is incredible.
Well, thank you very much. It's just 25 years of hanging out with Dougie Kalitta is what it is. It's some amazing experiences that we've put on, promotions over the years with Kiss and Kid Rock and Von Dutch and, things we did with Scott Kalitta when he was around. Foose Dragsters. The helmet right here was a helmet that Scott Kalitta wore back when we ran a Foose top fuel car and a Foose funny car. So it's just some amazing experiences over the years that I've been able to blessed to be a part of.
Amazing. And Doug, your background is not as good as Tony's. I'll just say that. He's taking this seriously, which I love. I love his background, but
I'm gonna have to work on tuning it up in here. It's definitely appreciate everything Tony has done for our effort here with 20 years. He's been part of the 20 years, and obviously all the franchisees that we've signed up at the track. We've been real proud of everything. Helping with supporting the Mac Tools effort, and again too with Kalitta Air, we have a different maintenance facilities around the country, and we've got programs that get entry level tools to guys that are just starting out. So it's a lot of what we do is business to business. So it's been good with the Stanley Black & Decker group. I mean, the marketing effort that we've put together is a business to business thing too, which just kind of drives all of our sponsors. But 20 years with Mac Tools, that's I'm really proud of that one. And obviously, just a lot of great distributors out there, and a lot of great relationships, good friendships with all the guys. We were talking yesterday, I've been fortunate enough to go to Pomona and win the thing, and then we usually end up, at the Mac Tools Tool Fair, which is an annual event, and this year it's going to be a little different because it's not right after Pomona, and obviously we're not going to Pomona, but just the same, we'll be heading down towards your part of the country, Joe, and looking forward to getting going with the Mac Tools car again.
Super excited. The Gator Nationals, the start to the season. It's always been our East Coast opener. And I can tell you for many years, you watch the West Coast open up and you get excited, and then all kinds of stuff happens at the Gator Nationals. Very often teams would run like last year's stuff at the Winters, and then by Gainesville, they would have their new stuff like ready to go. Always a race where milestones and records broken, great stuff. So we're excited to add the season opener title, even if it's only for 1 year, to the Gator Nationals Florida thing. Tony, let's talk a little bit about why. We love drag racing. I know you do. I know Doug does, but we're insiders. You guys are selling tools to mechanics of all kinds. We know in NHRA drag racing that our people, they want to do things themselves. They've got a natural curiosity. They want to have great tools. But in a time like now where everyone is reevaluating like what's working, you have decided to go back into NHRA drag racing with Kalitta Motorsports. Tell us a little bit about that decision.
Yeah, I think if you look back, many, many years, you go back to the Mac Tool Gator Nationals, many, many years ago. You go back to the 301 Club and Kenny Bernstein and Budweiser and Mac Tools. And I think that, it's the partnership that we've built with Kalitta, Connie, and Dougie over the last 20 years. It really shows our commitment to that technician. It shows the commitment to those student techs that, the YES program that NHRA has, where they come in and go to the track on Thursdays. It's all about getting those quality tools in those technicians' hands. It's about helping them succeed. And it's about our distributors. Dougie was talking just a few minutes ago about our franchisees and Tool Fair. But it's about those distributors, being proud of the relationship with Kalitta. It's about, Kalitta Air, and those, I forget how many technicians they've got up in Oscoda and in Ypsilanti, but it's about putting tools in their hands, and it's about the partnership. In this sport, it's all about relationships. And, Connie and Dougie and the Mac Tool relationship, distributors love to go to the track. We've hosted so many distributors, and I remember distributors bringing steaks and lobsters to the track and cooking out afterwards, and just that family environment that has been there. And I think that, Mac Tools is just proud of the relationship. It's our distributors are proud of the relationship, and putting those quality tools in those technicians' hands with them succeeding out there in the automotive world.
I love it. I love the idea. And as much as our sport is something for like the really dedicated car culture person, fabricators, there are people who go out to see the welds on cars, right? They maybe don't go to the racetrack to watch cars going on the starting line. They are in the pit area to see the incredible fabrication, or to watch Doug's crew guys pull an engine down to the bare block and rebuild it with those Mac tools. There are people who don't go to the starting line and they're just waiting for Doug's team to get back in there. So we definitely have kind of a neat group of people that are at our tracks for a variety of reasons. But Doug, the reason you're there is to win races. You finished second last year, flying the flag for Mac Tools. I'd call it a really strong year once again, especially with that out-of-the-box win at the Winter Nationals. Yeah,
it was a fun year. We ended up winning 2 races overall, and then, like you say, second overall. And we're happy to be going back out there again, gunning for the championship. My guys, they're all busting their tails right now. We'll start the year off with one new car that they just finished up, and then another car that is all fresh and ready to go. So we're setting pretty good. We're gonna, I think, add another trailer to our effort. And right now, with my team, we've got one new guy that actually used to work on my car a couple years ago, Dustin. So he's going to come back. So
Dustin is back.
Yeah, Dustin Cowan. So yeah, so my guys are all the same guys that have been working on this thing, and Rob and Troy, they're itching to get back to the track, and I think we're going to actually start off down in West Palm Beach for a couple of days testing the weekend before the Gator National. So looking forward to that, and it's just the start of a new year. It's you got Connie, who is our fearless leader here at Kalitta Motorsports, and it's always interesting, just how excited he is at the beginning of each year. And again, he'll be overseeing Sean Langdon's car with the boys on that team. So it's always exciting to get going again, and definitely looking forward to it.
Yes. Yeah, we are too. And we'll get to some semblance of the world that we are used to halfway through the season as soon as is possible. That West Palm Beach stuff is a little bit of quasi breaking news. We down here in South Florida have been hoping that, we get to see some nitro testing, or that it would be happening in our community. So that's exciting to know, or that you're going to try to do that, because everything is turned upside down, right? Like everyone is trying to figure out. We already know that Wild Horse Pass is not going to happen. Pomona, we're certainly hoping will happen at some point in the season, and we'll give them the opportunity to do what they did last year. Tony, I'd like to hear you speak on the just the way you've had to be flexible given the circumstance out there. We had this hard shutdown. We all know why. And then we've had various openings in various areas, depending on the way things go. And now I think most people have figured out how to live with this, and people are kind of forging ahead. I love the spirit. How has it been challenging for you guys at Mac Tools?
I think that, first of all, our main goal was safety as a company for our employees, for our customers, our vendors, was safety. And so, we just quickly went to work at how do we continue to bring experiences to our customers, but virtually. And we've done that through, Dougie participated in a CAT conference that was a virtual conference that we did online. And we brought Dougie in, we brought Chip Foose in, we brought Coach Gibbs in, and we was able to bring an experience to 100 CAT dealers across the United States virtually. And so we just had to be agile and think out of the box. We still do virtual meet and greets before all of our races on the NASCAR side, on the NHRA side, and you was talking about we was talking about the team. And, how they bring the car back and they tear that thing down in 45 minutes. And, being able to bring customers in at a minimal number at some of the races last year and watch the team rebuild that car. And all they did on social media with bringing that live on social media has just been, it's been amazing to see. If you would have asked me that 5 years ago, I would have said, you can never experience NHRA drag racing unless you're there. But what, all the teams did, NHRA and the Kalitta Motorsports social team did last year, bringing it alive on social was just amazing. So we hope to get back to the track soon. I can't wait to hear those 11,000 horse, engines and the smell of the nitro and shaking hands and hugging people. We'll get there sometime in 2021, but we're just excited for the Gator Nationals kicking off here in just a few weeks.
Yes, and you referenced that it was the Mac Tools Gator Nationals for a long time, and I saw your Uncle Connie do some amazing things out there, and having been to every one since 1980, just crazy runs and races and blowovers. Kalitta Motorsports been a big part of the highlight reel that is the Gator Nationals. So here's one for both of you to throw out there, and I'm going to kind of hone it down a little bit into more racing specific after this question, in that, new season, but new sponsor, Camping World in, and new television coverage, 8 races on the big Fox network. Like, as much as there have been negative moments, the general trend has been really positive, like more drag racing coverage in front of a more mainstream audience. And now the sponsor with Marcus Lemonis, who I'm excited for him to get his first whiff of nitro, which apparently he hasn't even had. That's got to get you excited. Tony, what do you think when you see companies like that following your lead and getting involved in NHRA drag racing, a big retail store like that?
Yeah, so excited about Camping World coming on. And I think when you go to these races, Camping World is a perfect fit, because people have got their RVs, their motorhomes, their buses that they've built into RVs. So really excited to see Camping World come on, and the sponsor that was there for many years has done a great job, and I thank so much for Coca-Cola and all of that they put into the sport. But excited to see Camping World come in, excited to see new sponsors come into NHRA drag racing. I mentioned yesterday with Dougie, in this NHRA drag racing world, there's a lot of tool companies out there. And, that's one reason why we're there. And it's about that competition. It's about competing against those other tool companies. We're excited to have Dougie back in that Mac Tools Top Fuel car. We're excited. He come in, we just fell just a little short of that championship last year. And those Torrance boys, they carry that Mac Tool logo over there too. So we're excited for Steve, but we really want Dougie to win that championship, and it's going to happen. I guarantee it. We look forward to another 10 years of Dougie in that Top Fuel car, just like Kenny Bernstein had Budweiser on that car for 30 years. We're excited about that 30-year mark with Dougie Kalitta, and another, hopefully 10 championships between now and then.
Well, exactly.
Well, that sounds good to me.
Doesn't it?
No, I think our effort's going in the right direction, and I think it's going to be an interesting year for sure. So,
you mentioned people coming back. Talk a little bit about that. Did you guys have a debrief at the end of the year last year? Like, I'd call it a great season. Sometimes things just don't go your way, and everything's got to align, and it's really hard. You got the U.S. Nationals win out of the way a couple years back, and it's just been a big deal. But what was the conclusion of the season discussion like over at Kalitta Motorsports?
Yeah, obviously, we battled to the end and ended up second. So I guess you could say, licking our wounds a little bit with not winning the thing. We led the points on and off throughout the season, so it just makes you want it even harder. So we're all very hungry. I'm super excited. I got the same guys that we're just building on what we've been doing. The guys in the fabrication shop building the cars, and Chad Head with everything he's doing with just building each area of what we're doing. We've got Toyota. They've been a great supporter with all the stuff they do for us at the track. I've got this. I usually drive these cars that are like 2 or 3, 2-liter cars are kind of. So Toyota actually hooked me up with a car. It's like a 3.7 liter. It's an Avalon, so it's like this luxury type car, and I have to admit that thing scoots along pretty well. So, but no, they have been a great supporter. So I think everything they're doing for us, with the TRD development stuff, they're a great partner. Mobile One, the same thing. we can run these engines just as hard as anybody else out there, and the oil obviously is a big part of helping with all that. So it's just a lot of different things, all the partners that we've got, it's just, I don't know if it's any one big thing. It's just all the small things that we're doing, to build on what we're on the car that we're bringing out to the track. So we'll be ready and looking forward to it.
Okay, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I was just going to say one thing I wanted to say about, Rob and Troy over there that's running that team. When you walk into Dougie's pit area, I guarantee it is the most organized and clean pit area that you're going to see in NHRA drag racing. I keep going back to Kenny, the King. When you went into his pit back 10 years ago, it was always the cleanest and most organized pit out there. And Dougie's team, Rob and Troy, that is the best put together pit area that's out there. And when we talk about building the trades, and, our focus, in 2021 is building the trades. And it's about those student techs out there. And it's, everybody's worried about getting out of high school and going into college. Well, you can get out of high school and you can go into a tech school and you can make good money. And when you walk into that pit area and see how it's put together, it wants you to be a professional technician. It makes you want to go work on a top fuel car, a funny car, or a pro stock car. You can make a great living and in NHRA drag racing and being a technician in this world today.
I love how fired up Tony is, Doug.
I'm ready to go to Florida.
Yeah, Tony does a great job.
All right, Tony. So Doug's, let's create a fantasy scenario here. You said something that I'm a big believer in, and it's the rivalries. And so how many years, you referenced Kenny Bernstein, and Kenny, as the Budweiser King, was great. But I think it was even better when the Miller car rolled around, right? And you had Kenny versus Larry Dixon and the Snake, and that friction, of course, and Scott was in the middle of it, and Doug, and and I think about that. And I would love for you to speak on that aspect of being a sponsor, like going up against rivals. You just said you're here because there are other tool companies here. You don't want to cede the territory to them. And I think that's good for other sponsors and other potential sponsors to know and hear about. It's not about coming in and just dominating an area and then running out. You want to compete against them. And I would imagine that there are a couple of cars that you really love it when Doug beats them.
Well, I'm not going to mention any of those cars that we love to beat because I don't want to, I'm friends with Antron Brown. I think he's a great guy. And
was he one of them? Oh, how weird.
Over the years, I mean, it's been such a journey. I mean, back when Scott was there and we had the Jesse James top fuel dragster and we had the Mac Tools top fuel dragster, those was the times that you really hated to face each other in the first round. Or, we got Sean Langdon in there now. And, when Sean and Dougie meet up in that first round, you really hate that. And you really want to see Dougie win. But, I mean, that's what's so great about drag racing is, the Steve Torrances flying the flag out there. The Tim Wilkersons. Timmy Wilkerson's been running Mac Tools for many, many years. The Greg Andersons, the Jake Coughlins. I could go down the list of the relationships that Mac Tools has built over the years. And, I see this Mac Tools brand and competing against those other tool brands. And I never want to mention those tool brands, but built some great relationships, some great, I look back into the Bud Shootout days in Las Vegas and us bringing home some Bud Shootout trophies and running some really cool promotions with, Kiss and Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley coming out to the track or Kid Rock and riding motorcycles out to the track with Jesse James. I mean, those was all really cool promotions that we put together back in the day to sell diecast. And, today it's still just important to us, our branding. Chip Foose, he designed the last two dragsters ago that it's on track 2 years ago. And that design is on all of our distributor trucks out on the road today. And so, it's about putting those promotions together, letting the fans and our distributors be a part of those. And, who wouldn't want to have a Chip Foose design tool truck and take it into your customer on a daily basis? So those is what it's about, Joe. It's about involving our distributors, our customers, the fans, and letting them be a part of each one of these promotions over the years. And whoever we face in round one or round two, it's great. But we love to see that Mac Tool Dragster in that final round on Sunday.
Love it. All right, Doug, when you hear get so fired up like that, I know you want to deliver. So, give us, are you going to run the same chassis as you ended off 20 with? Any changes technology wise over there? And just speak on a little your goals other than win the championship, which we know for 2021.
Yeah, we build all of our own cars in-house. We build a new car. I think we're going to start off testing with that. So I'm not sure what we'll end up starting the year with, but we'll definitely have 2 cars ready to roll. And again, couldn't be prouder of the effort, of what we've got that we're bringing to the track. I mean, the car is a nice car to drive, and it's just his hope. With Troy and all my boys there, it should be an interesting year. And the Gator Nationals, it's kind of like the Don Garlitz's home turf here, and that's the thing I really think is the coolest. One of the cool parts about going is the history of what Don has done in the sport of drag racing and NHRA. I mean, it's cool that he's usually there at the track, and and what Steve did for him last year with the Garlitz's car. I mean, I'm sure he was jacked with that. So, but it's going to be a great place to start the season. I love running there. I won the thing a couple times, and we're just really hoping to hit the ground. Just stay steady. Obviously, trying to get to the final rounds and get the wins. Pretty much like what we did all last year, and just try to stay as close to the front and be there at the end. But again, we're hoping that there's going to be more than 11 races. It looks like just kind of looking at, the different tracks and what's going on. It seems like it's pretty encouraging that we're going to run a fair amount of them. Hopefully, everything that's on the schedule. So I think Pomona's still, I'm hearing actually that it's starting to maybe get a little better out in California. So hopefully that Pomona race isn't in jeopardy, but
we still got time.
So that's and that track I've had great success at, so I hate to see it like off the schedule for
exactly.
the first race too. I'm like, oh man, Pomona's not on the schedule.
That's my race.
It's my race.
Yeah.
No, it's all good, and just couldn't be more excited to I've been out here for a number of years, and just appreciate the opportunity to be out here doing what I'm doing with such great people, and sponsors, obviously with Tony and Phil Cox, everybody at Mac Tools. I've got such a great support group there with all the distributors, and again the headquarters there in Columbus. So just trying to hopefully make everybody proud of what we're doing, and and have fun at it, and go out there and kick some butt. And that's the plan.
That's great. Great news. Excited. We're all so excited about the start of the season. Normalcy, drag racing, fans, as many as is possible, and more as the season goes on. Gentlemen, thank you for spending a little time with us here on WFO Radio, and I appreciate you guys. Tony, thank you very much. Your enthusiasm, it's obvious you love the sport, and I think that's very important to get it, to understand what everybody's there, why we're all crazy about it. You're obviously crazy about it too. Doug, we know that, you're a hard-nosed competitor. Thank you. Hey, Tony, real quick, one last question. All right, you teased us with all these, promotions and Chip Foose and Gene and Kiss and rock and roll and all of that stuff. Is there one story from your time in this universe that you could share with us? Maybe a little Hollywood, a little rock and roll, a little drag racing, something that sticks out in your mind that our listeners would walk away feeling a little better for knowing about.
Oh man, I tell you, it's There's just so many of them.
I put you on the spot. I know, but that's what I do. They should have warned you. Costello's going to put you on the spot at some point.
I guess, back, the one that I remember probably the most is when we did the Kid Rock car out in Las Vegas. And, man, I was young back then, Dougie. That was probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And we shipped some motorcycles out there. And, Jesse James shipped some motorcycles. So we rode from the MGM out to the track on West Coast choppers, me and some other executives from Mac Tools. And we rode motorcycles out there. We ran a special paint scheme with Kid Rock on there. We had a private party at the MGM. It was just one of those rock star weekends. And here I am, some young, executive, and it was like, wow. And so it was a really cool experience. So just bringing that to the drag racing world, I think brings excitement to the fans. And I got to be a part of it. And it was truly a cool experience.
Love it. Excellent. Yeah. That's exactly what I was looking for. What do you remember of that one, Doug?
Yeah, that was a good time there. We, obviously just having all the, Kid Rock and all the guys, out there having fun with them, introducing them to the sport, which are all a bunch of motorheads to begin with. That was, those type of opportunities were definitely special. Like, having Gene Simmons out there and Paul Stanley, that was another very cool thing, it's interesting, like any of these folks that we get to the tracks and they stand behind this car and the thing takes off and scares them half to death, so that's a great experience for them as well. So, the one thing I have to admit, the tool fairs, Mac Tools tool fairs, I mean, the evening nights that they have with, we've had Harley's up on the, coming down the main aisles, and it's just kind of a production really with Mac Tools distributors, and that's usually just a ton of fun with getting everybody together. So, Tony, I don't know, do they have a tool fair on the schedule this year?
Yeah, so right now, June, it's going to be in Orlando, and we're going through all those safety precautions now. But right now, they're planning on June. It's always been the last 2 years. Dougie has brought that Pomona Trophy into the Mac Tools Tool Fair the last couple years. So that's always a great experience to have the distributors be a part of a win. And so in June, Dougie's going to win a couple races.
Yeah, we'll have to bring that trophy.
Trophies.
I'm going to write that down.
There you go.
Tony, thank you very much. Doug, thank you very much, both of you gentlemen. Tony, thank you for your investment in drag racing. I really appreciate it, and keeping it going and raising the bar and sharing some stories with us. I'm very excited. I know my listeners and viewers are out there. They're excited too. This extended off season is not what we are used to, but we'll deal with it to get back to normalcy. Thank you for supporting the sport, and thank you for coming on WFO Radio, Tony. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank a Mac Tool distributor. If it wasn't for them, Dougie Kalitta wouldn't be in Mac Tool's colors. So thank a Mac Tool distributor. Buy a Mac Tool. Buy student techs. Go buy some Mac Tools.
There you go. And Doug, likewise, it's got to be great to have someone who's so enthusiastic, pushing you towards success. I know you're going to get there. Good luck on a great season this year and your test in Palm Beach, and of course going into the Gator Nationals. Thank you, Doug.
All right. Thank you, Joe. And thanks for everything you do out here in the sport, and appreciate your support as well. Excellent.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to let you go. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There he goes. Tony
right.
Merritt, Doug Kalitta with us here on WFO Radio Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. Download, subscribe. Wow, good stuff. And Doug finishing second last year and just having, been getting stronger and stronger. The U.S. Nationals win a couple of seasons ago. But he said it right. I think he said it. We don't know if there's going to be a countdown. Got to go strong from the first round of racing in Gainesville. You don't know if there's going to be a countdown. You don't know what the schedule is going to be. There are a list of unknowns. The only known thing is that there's going to be a bunch of unknowns. And I think if Doug can have his strong start and just stay after it, he's got a shot. Steve Torrance, Tony mentioned that those guys are Mac guys as well. They are some of the greatest in history. It's going to take a massive effort to take them off the top. No one has been able to do it. And it's forcing everybody to raise their game in this sport and go hard from the very beginning. And so it'll be very interesting to watch how it all plays out. And Doug is, one of the greats. And I think you say people deserve a championship, but championships aren't given out because they're deserved, they're earned. And sometimes a guy can have a good season, but worse than others, but still be a champion. And then other guys, like if you're going to beat Steve Torrence, you're going to have a great season. And whoever does it, they're going to go down in history. It's going to be a big, big deal. And if Doug can do it this year, or Sean, or who knows, in the top fuel category, it's going to be a big deal. But I can tell you the Torrance guys aren't going to give it up anytime soon. All right, put your comments in the comments section. Final comments before we get on out of here. I do want to thank everybody for the compliments on the video I put out when I went racing this past weekend in my street car. But I did get a fair amount of positive feedback. And you can check out our YouTube channel, WFO Radio TV. It is also on the website, WFOradio.com. And watch me bang my head against the wall. It was great. I did my best, all shot on iPhone. And I'm already making plans to go to the next race, which will be February 15th. And try to do better. That's the one downside, right? Is I didn't do very well as a driver, but I did pretty well as creating the video, and I did pretty well as documenting it. And so next time I just got to get aggressive. And here's what I thought. I already learned. When you document everything, it's easy to remember what you did wrong. I came off the trailer with an 0:10 reaction time and then backed off, got real conservative and started having terrible lights. I need to stay aggressive. That's it. If I'm going to race, I need to stay aggressive. And trying to use the opportunity to learn some new stuff on the top end, driving the car. I guess it's good that I did it, but next time I'm going to retreat back to a comfort zone where I've been successful over the years, and it will be fun. I want to remind everybody in the WFO Radio store, you can get face coverings like this one, WFO Radio. You want to stay safe out there, obviously, and be in compliance with track regulations so we can all go racing. Just $10. You get a couple of WFO stickers in there, wide, fast, open, baby. And stay safe. Obviously, we got our new logo t-shirt up in there and all of our sponsors, plus some cool products that we think are cool. Simple as that. Yesterday, Megan Meyer was on. She is a world champion in her own right, back-to-back champion in the Lucas Oil Top Alcohol Dragster category. Megan broke a lot of news about her plans for the season and that they're going to be announcing the driver of that NGK car on Monday. So that is very cool. And Alan Reinhart was on Tuesday. That is all in the archive on YouTube. And if you download our WFO Radio mobile application, you can hear all of those shows. And Reinhart, just a great conversation about NHRA drag racing. All right, before we get up on out of here, let's see what the final comments in the comments section are. Any questions about the latest, greatest? I'm looking at the points from a year ago, seeing Doug in second place like that. It's like, he's going to break through one of these years very, very soon. Oh, look, NHRA has got our show from Tuesday up on the front page of their website. Way to go, National Hot Rod Association. So you can go to NHRA.com and watch myself and Alan Reinhart talk about the season that is coming. A little discussion about the current funny car champ, etc. I am very excited and appreciative. All right, let's see what Steven says. Steven says, Doug Kalitta is way overdue for a championship. Yes, that's a statement of fact, but still one of the greatest of all time. And now that he's got that U.S. Nationals victory, gets the keys to the executive washroom for the greatest top fuel drivers of all time. Definitely. Let's say Roy says, good show, Joe. Thank you very much, Roy. I appreciate it. Monica, love the interview. Thank you, Monica, for supporting WFO. Phil, go for Joe. Great show today. Thank you very much, Phil. Thank you for supporting us. Yeah, Cindy wanted a Connie Kalitta story, and I'm not going to push for stories of Connie, man. There's too many. We'll do that on a different show when it's not like, sponsor related. But yes, there's countless Connie Kalitta stories out there for us all to enjoy and share. And there's one. Connie has never been on WFO when we've been doing the video. He was on when we were doing podcast only sometime over the last 10 years. And now he's done doing media hits. But yeah, that'd be cool. Now, Ron Tobler has said even though he has announced his retirement, he's going to come on the show real soon, and he and I are going to get together and talk a little bit about that whole retirement. Oh, a couple more. Am I racing this weekend? No. This weekend is my birthday. Saturday is my birthday. I'll be watching the Rolex 24, and I will be enjoying my birthday. I've got it all planned out. My Pontiac Firebird needs front brakes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my calipers and rotors and replace them with new brakes on my birthday, because that's what I want to do. You know, when it's not my birthday, I feel like I need to focus on work and other stuff. On my birthday, I can focus on my own thing. So I'm super excited. Let's see. When does the season start? At the Amalie Motor Oil NHRA Gator Nationals, March 13th, 14th. Go to NHRA.com to find out more information. And Derek wants to know, as a Patreon of the show, did I get his shirt size? Yes, I did. Shall I say your shirt size, Derek? Nah, I won't do that to you, bud. I won't do that. Eric says, happy birthday, Joe. Thank you, Eric, one of our new Patreons on WFO Radio on patreon.com. Really appreciate you supporting the show. And yeah, I'm going to be 38 years old. It's going to be great. Do you believe me? I'm going to be 48 years old, guys. 48. But don't tell anybody, because that's going to be the thing I say from now on. I'm going to say 38 until someone calls me out. And if they call me out, that's good. Final comment, birthday cake, prayers, pound, all of it. Thank you very much. Thanks to Tony for coming on the show. Tony Merritt. And supporting drag racing for so many years and so many teams and doing cool promotions. I know, as someone who does a show, like anytime there's a celeb at the track, as a track announcer, gives me an opportunity to go do a cool interview, and for all the fans in the stands to say, wow, celebrities are here. And that's a big deal. Monica says she thought it was 30. I can understand, Monica. It makes perfect sense. Phil, happy birthday. Thank you, Phil, very much. And thanks to Doug and Luke and Elon and everybody who set up the interview. I really appreciate all you guys as well. Onward, we've heard some big first-class superstar guests. We're going to continue on as we keep doing WFO. We'll be back with more over the next couple of weeks, right into the start of Gainesville. Hey, a quick reminder, NHRA.TV, streaming the Southeastern Division II race from Orlando Speed World. I'll be your track announcer, so you're going to want to log on and check it out. Mitchell, oh, here come the birthday wishes. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, I did say it was my birthday. I didn't want birthday wishes. I would have not said it. Simple as that. All right, everybody, thank you very much. We'll see you next time right here on WFO Radio. Look at that.